The breach, which was reported yesterday, impacted data such as addresses, birth dates, and emergency contact details. Financial or detailed medical information was not included. Nova Scotia officials are working with PowerSchool to assess the extent of the breach, and the province is conducting its own investigation. Families and staff have been notified and will be updated as new information becomes available. And now in Seaside FM Sports, tonight is a 10-game night in the NHL, including 3 Canadian teams in action. The Ottawa Senators host the Buffalo Sabres, the Edmonton Oilers versus the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Toronto Maple Leafs face the Hurricanes. In the Q, the Mooseheads play Drummondville in Halifax, and in the NBA, an 8-game night, including the Toronto Raptors looking to snap the Cavaliers' 11-game win streak on the road. That's sports. Weather's next. Seaside FM News Time is 6:03.
A1A, the world's first and foremost tribute band to the music of Jimmy Buffett, is coming to the Rebecca Cohen Auditorium on February 19th. Sing along to many of Buffett's massive hits, like Come Monday, 5 O'Clock Somewhere, and of course, Margaritaville. Join other Parrot Heads and celebrate the music of a legend, chosen by Buffett to perform with him several times. A1A is the official and original tribute to Jimmy Buffett, February 19th at the Rebecca Cohen.
And your weather for tonight, flurries or rain showers ending after midnight, then cloudy and a low of +1. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy with a high of +2. In the night, cloudy with a low of -2. Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 0. Overnight, cloudy periods and a low of -2. For weather at any time, you can visit our website at seasidefm.com. I'm Daniel Briand.
Shearwater, your easy listening favorites are on Seaside FM.
The following program is brought to you in the high-powered sounds of 105.9 Seaside FM in conjunction with...
My name is Joshua and I'm your host. December 21st, 1988. 1989. My name is Joshua and welcome. 1990. And welcome to our second anniversary show.
My name is Joshua and welcome.
April 3rd, 1994. And welcome to our 6th anniversary show.
My name is Joshua and welcome.
Today's date is October 18th, 2004.
Welcome to Charles' Tape Series.
Welcome to the JSC.
Welcome to An Evening with Charles Hsuen.
Welcome to the Swing Arrangement with Charles Hsuen.
CQHS Productions celebrating 36 years in broadcasting. A good Thursday evening, everyone. Today's date is January 9th, 2025, the very first show of the year. Welcome to Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen, right here on 105.9 Seaside FM, your home for the best music. Welcome to Evening Solitude. My name is Charles Hsuen, and this is the first program of the year. And thank you very much for joining me. And we are broadcasting to you live from the heart of Easter Passage. And if you're picking us up on local radio, it's frequency modulation station signal, 105.9 megahertz on your FM dial. Online at seasidefm.com, on Bella Line Digital TV Channel 779, East Link Digital TV Channel 952. You can also pick us up on one of our streaming sites, live, including Facebook Live on our custom Facebook page. The handle is at Charles Halifax Radio, or you can add me on my personal Facebook page at Charles Hsuen, or you can go on to YouTube Live and Twitch TV and search Charles Hsuen January 9 under any of those platforms. Or if you have an intelligent virtual assistant such as Siri, Alexa, or Google Home, ask it to play Seaside FM. And if you want to contact me, you can do it one of three ways. You can lift up your phone, give us a shout here at 902-469-6000, or you can message me on any social media platform and search Charles Hsuen and message me in real time, or email me at requests@seasidefm.com. Well, I hope you had a nice break. I hope you had a safe holiday. And the world is a little bit more tumultuous today as it was before we left for the holidays. But aside from that, we're going to spend the next 2 hours with some good music, shall we? From the Rodgers and Hammerstein book, we're going to be hearing from Veronica Swift, this one coming from a 2021 album called The Bitter Earth. What I love about this rendition of this Rodgers and Hammerstein song coming from the Broadway and motion picture production of The King and I is that she explores many different time signatures, and it's actually three different arrangements of the same song within. She starts slow with a ballad in sort of a waltz fashion, and then she goes into a straight 4/4 time for swing, and then she does triple eights at the tail end, and it sounds absolutely marvelous. Veronica Swift starts us off here on Evening Solitude with Getting to Know You, right here on Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen.
It's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought, that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. And as a teacher I've been learning, you'll forgive me if I boast. And now I've become an expert on the subject I like most, getting to know you. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy when I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy when I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all those beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Ooh, getting to know you, get to feel free and easy when I am with you. Ooh, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy beautiful and new things I'm learning about you and yearning about you. Beautiful and new things. Get to know all those new things day by day.
Now more accessible than ever, watch and listen to Evening Solitude on Twitter, Periscope, LinkedIn by typing Charles Hsuen. That's Hsuen.
I look at you and suddenly something in your eyes I see soon begins bewitching me. It's that old devil moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old devil moon in your eyes. You and your glance make this romance too hot to handle. Stars in the night blazing their light can't hold a candle to your razzle-dazzle. You got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride full of butterflies inside. Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon in your eyes. Just when I think I'm free as a dove, old devil moon deep in your eyes blinds me with love. To your razzle-dazzle, you got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride full of butterflies inside. Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon in your eyes. Just when I think I'm free as a dove, old devil moon deep in your eyes blinds me with love. How it blinds me with love.
Boy, do I ever love that arrangement from my most favorite Sinatra album ever recorded. That is Frank Sinatra, Songs for Swinging Lovers. That is Old Devil Moon on the Capitol label, backed up by the incomparable Nelson Riddle and his orchestra. I just love when the horns just come in. It's just a phenomenal arrangement. To start things off, Winnipeg-born Veronica Swift from the Getting to Know You song. That one coming from Rodgers and Hammerstein's great motion picture from 1956 called The King and I, and then it was a Broadway play that was starring Yul Brynner. He made that role famous as the King of Siam. Unfortunately, because it did not paint the king in a great light, The King and I, for many, many years, for decades, up until very recently, was banned in Thailand, which was originally Siam. And but we have a slight connection, actually, to The King and I, because our art gallery is actually named for Anna Leonowens, who was the main character in The King and I. I had the good fortune of seeing The King and I in 1985 for Yul Brynner's farewell tour. He was 65 at the time, and he was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. And so who had made this performance so famous for over 5,000 performances, I believe, as the King of Siam, and he was unfortunately typecasted for the rest of his life, played at O'Keefe Center in Toronto, and it was a marvelous stage experience and my first. And so when you see Broadway shows, you have to start with the best, and that was with Yul Brynner. My name is Charles Hsuen, and this is Evening Solitude. We bring you music each and every Thursday evening from 6 p.m. to midnight. And then After Dinner Jazz with Mrs. T comes to you from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. with an eclectic selection of jazz and swing music. And comparable and phenomenal narration and commentary on each of those pieces of music. Another good friend of mine is Holly Arsenault, who I've played many times on this program. Also hosted many a night at the Carlton, whether she is playing with Kitty Farmer or is doing a performance with Daniel Maddow for the songbooks of the 1970s. Here she is teaming up with Dara Fitzgerald, featuring the Holly Arsenault Trio and guests. This takes place this Sunday, January 12th, at 2:30 p.m. at the Music Room at 6181 Lady Hammond Road in Halifax. Holly is delighted and inspired to be making music with the sparkling Dara Fitzgerald and other Halifax luminaries on the Afternoon of Jazz Standards. In support of Adsum House for Women and Children, Holly and Dara will be flanked by an all-star band featuring bespoke horn arrangements by another good friend of mine, Chris Mitchell, and loving homages to some of the greatest jazz vocalists through the years to the present day. For more information, you can go to Dara Fitzgerald's site at www.darafitzgerald.ca or go to adsumforwomen.org for more information on that program. Let's take a listen to a couple of tracks now from Dara Fitzgerald and this group. This first one coming to you, Route 66, and then It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing. Dara Fitzgerald and Holly Arsenault and the band. Oh, and I got to get, there we go.
If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. So get your kicks on Route 66. Now it goes through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City's looking mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip from this timely tip? When you make that California trip. So get your kicks on Route 66. All right, we got Chris Churchill on the bass. Dave Burton on the drums. And Holly Arsenault on the piano. Now it goes through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City's looking mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip? When you make that California trip, so get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Thank you, everybody.
Ballads, torch songs, and instrumentals to color your mood. This is Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen on Seaside FM.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do I, 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 do I. It don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is swing. Do I, 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 do I. It makes no difference if it's sweet or high. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Oh, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do I, 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 do I. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do I, do I. Don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is swing. Do I. It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Oh, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do I, 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 do I. I'm still that damn you are. I'm still that damn you are. It makes no difference if it's sweet or high. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is swing. Do it don't mean a thing, but I'm do ya, do ya, do ya, do ya, do ya, do ya, do ya. All you gotta do is swing. Do ya, do ya, do ya, do you wee. It makes no
Dara Fitzgerald and the Holly Arsenault Group. And they are going to be, as I mentioned, performing at the Music Room this Sunday, January 12th at 2:30 p.m. For more information, go to darafitzgerald.ca or go to addsomehouseforwomen.org. Thank you very much, Holly, for letting me know that that is going to be taking place. My name is Charles Hsuen, and this is Evening Solitude. We're going to continue on sounds now with a request from Jean Robert from Montreal. He said that we should hear something from this classic album that came out on the 20th of November, 1954, called Sincerely Conti. And that is in reference to Conti Condoli, trumpeter, and this album coming from the Bethlehem label, a fantastic version of Everything Happens to Me. Conti Condoli and his band from Sincerely Conti. Everything Happens to Me. Conti on trumpet and Claude Williamson on piano. We had Stan Levy on drums and Max Bennett on bass. Recorded in 1954 on the Bethlehem Records. Sent out for Jean Robert listening to us in Montreal. I'm going to play you a double play now, and this is a very, very interesting recording. This comes from a faux Broadway production called Co-op. It was an original cast album released in 2019 out of the brain of Seth Meyers and John Mulaney, two of the hot young comedians that come out of the Saturday Night Live alumni. Seth Meyers now having the late night talk show on NBC, and John Mulaney having a great stand-up career. And he and a lot of collaborators from Saturday Night Live developed a series called the Documentary Now series that's, I think, in its 4th or 5th season now. Fred Armisen is also in it. And what they do is they do a documentary, a mockumentary in tribute of famed documentary films. And this one is based out of D.A. Pennebaker's original cast album film of Company by Stephen Sondheim. And they did this to a T. The costumes and the music, the orchestral arrangements, and even the writing is phenomenal. And so Company, being a Stephen Sondheim Broadway play that I play quite often, is based on a 45th birthday or 35th birthday of Robert, who's the main character. This one is based on a co-op apartment. And Paula Pell does a great version of I Gotta Go, and it's a tribute to Here's to the Ladies Who Lunch by Elaine Stritch. You'll hear the similarities. I'm going to play both tracks, and you decide for yourself how great this tribute is to this great piece of music by Stephen Sondheim, who, by the way, approved of this parody of his documentary. Let's have a listen now to I've Gotta Go, and with Elaine Stritch, Here's to the Ladies Who Lunch, right here on Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen.
Look at me, Cinderella, stroke of midnight, footman gone. My glass slippers, now they're Merrill's, and Prince Charming, he's just Ron. Spell is broken, unenchanted, someone else's sheets are soiled. Linen she picked up at Bloomie's for a marriage that I spoiled. I gotta go, I gotta hail a pumpkin coach, and I gotta go. This ain't my room, my man, or brooch, and I gotta go. I deserve better or different or worse, but I gotta go. There's no wedding bells for this, just a hearse. I gotta go. Fairy tales all ending happily, but a fair tale's ending grim. Why did I think this would solve me? If there's an answer, it ain't him. I gotta go. I don't know where, but somewhere out there, somewhere to go. Somewhere where someone will see me as someone that they don't want to go. So I gotta go. If I don't go, I'm gone. My life's past midnight. I gotta go. Where there's breakfasts and crosswords and see you tomorrows. After the night, I gotta go. I gotta go. The world is a question. This room is an answer. And the answer is no. I gotta go. I gotta be free. Me, Donna,
I'd like to propose a toast. Here's to the ladies who lunch. Everybody laugh. Lounging in their caftans and planning a brunch on their own behalf. Off to the gym, then to a fitting claiming they're fat and looking grim, 'cause they've been sitting choosing a hat. Does anyone still wear a hat? I'll drink to that. Here's to the girls who stay smart. Aren't they a gas? Rushing to their classes in optical art, wishing it would pass. Another long, exhausting day, another $1,000, a matinee, a pinter play, perhaps a piece of Mahler's. I'll drink to that. And one for Mahler. Here's to the girls who play wife. Aren't they too much? Keeping house but clutching a copy of life just to keep in touch. The ones who follow the rules and meet themselves at the schools, too busy to know that they're fools. Aren't they a gem? I'll drink to them. Let's all drink to them. And here's to the girls who just watch. Aren't they the best? When they get depressed, it's a bottle of scotch plus a little jest. Another chance to disapprove, another brilliant singer, another reason not to move, another vodka stinger. I'll drink to that. So here's to the girls on the go. Everybody tries. Look into their eyes and you'll see what they know. Everybody dies. A toast to that invincible bunch. The dinosaur surviving the crunch. Let's hear it for the ladies who lunch. Everybody rise. 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 Rise, 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 rise.
From the original soundtrack of Company from 1970, and Harold Hastings and his orchestra backing up the great Elaine Stritch, who in the documentary of the original cast album struggles in the 24-hour recording session that took place at the Columbia 30th Street Studios in New York City. She's exhausted. She can't nail the definitive recording, and she comes back with full force, and that's what you hear, that particular recording. It was perfection under the helmship of Stephen Sondheim. The first recording we heard was I Gotta Go, and that was Paula Pell, in a tribute to that documentary, that very famous documentary called Co-op, documentary now with John Mulaney as Stephen Sondheim and so many great comedians of our time. My name is Charles Hsuen. This is Evening Solitude, 50 minutes past 6 p.m., 10 to the top of the hour. We're going to go back to 1935 now with Benny Goodman and Helen Ward as vocalists from 1935, as I said, from the RCA Victor years. Here is There's a Small Hotel by Benny Goodman and his orchestra.
all the lights and I sink in my chair. The smoke from my cigarette climbs through the air. The walls of my room fade away in the blue, and I'm deep in a dream of you. The smoke makes a stairway for you to descend. You come to my arms, may this bliss never end. For we love anew just as we used to do when I'm deep in a dream of you. Then from the ceiling, sweet music comes stealing. We glide through a lover's refrain. You're so appealing that I'm soon revealing my love for you over again. My cigarette burns me, I wake with a start. My hand isn't hurt, but there's pain in my heart. Awake or asleep, every memory I keep, deep in a dream of you.
Two clarinetists in the swing era, the height of the swing era, the king of swing, Benny Goodman, to start things off with one of the two Helens, Helen Ward on that one. There's a Small Hotel in 1935. And then we heard Artie Shaw in Deep in a Dream with Helen Forrest and playing the clarinet as well. You could hear the difference, in the tonal quality of the clarinet, whereas Artie Shaw was very woody and very dark and deep with his clarinet tone. Benny was very high and bright with his soloing. And it was a matter of taste on how you interpreted and how you liked clarinet, big band, swing music in the late 1930s. We are now going to give you your 5-day Metro Weather Call forecast for Halifax and the surrounding area. And here's the 5-day Metro Weather forecast music to accompany it.
Tomorrow's weather, what's the low? What's the high? Will it be wet or dry?
Your Metro Weather Call forecast for Halifax and the surrounding area for this Thursday, January 9th. Tonight, a few flurries becoming mixed with rain showers early this evening and ending overnight, then cloudy with a 30% chance of flurries or rain showers. Winds gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour with a low of 1 degree Celsius. On Friday, cloudy, 30% chance of flurries or rain showers in the morning, and early in the afternoon, winds gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour, high of 2 degrees Celsius with a UV index reading at 1, which is in the low category. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low of -1. Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud, high of 0 and a low of -2. Sunday, cloudy with a 30% chance of flurries, high of 1 and a low of -4. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you're looking at highs of -1, -2, and -2, and lows of -6, -5, and -4, respectively. For more weather information, log on to seasidefm.com. Current temperature outside the studios of Seaside FM, Eastern Passage, Fisherman's Cove, and Shearwater. It is 1 degree Celsius, the barometric pressure reading at 98.3 kilopascals and rising. The humidity's at 84%. And now, this brief word from some of your sponsors.
Seaside FM weather brought to you by Parkland Retirement Living. See for yourself why a Parkland Retirement Living community will help you live your best life. Looking for an all-inclusive, independent, or supportive lifestyle option? Join us for an open house tour this winter and get your questions answered. Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Book your tour at experienceparkland.com.
You know, it might be confusing to some, a bit overwhelming perhaps, as to where to invest these days. You know, you should invest. For what's the point of being 5 years older and not becoming at least 5 years richer? Markets may go down, then recover. But wasted time, you just don't get it back. Tune in every Thursday morning at 9:10 to the Financial Destination Show. It will be time well invested. Call 902-499-5879. This is Roger Hamilton. Until next time, stay safe and stay invested.
Tonight's programming on Seaside FM is brought to you in part by Liscombe Lodge. We've got some great news for you. New, bigger, and better experiences to enhance your luxurious and restful stay with us along Nova Scotia's beautiful eastern shore. Stay tuned for details coming your way throughout 2025.
Got a leaky basement or a big dig on your to-do list? Call Don from Rockbusters. We stop basement leaks fast, keeping your home dry, safe, and worry-free. And when it comes to excavation, we've got the tools, the team, and the know-how to handle any project. Call Rockbusters today at 902-499-8857. That's 902-499-8857 for a free estimate. Rockbusters, call Don and your water will be gone, and your excavation work will be done.
Easy listening favorites from yesterday and today. The best music. Seaside FM.
I play this every year for our very first program of the year. This one's sent out for Don Gauthier, who listens to our program religiously and who is the biggest Red Skelton fan that I know. This one coming from 1976. This is from a Rankin Bass special. Those of you who know Rankin Bass may not know as far as the production is. You do definitely know the special, and that is the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special from 1964, part of the tradition of that and A Charlie Brown Christmas. But in 1976, they came out with Rudolph's Shiny New Year, a sequel to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, with the words and music sung by Red Skelton, as well as the Rankin Bass and Maury Laws doing the orchestral arrangement of Have a Happy New Year. And I love the song very much to take us to the top of the hour.
Happy New Year. As the bells ring out, everyone will shout, Happy New Year. Have a happy, may each day be filled with good cheer. And with nothing less than much happiness all through the year. Should old acquaintance be forgotten in the days of old lang syne, then take a drop of kindness and you will always feel just fine. Have a happy, never have a worry or fear. Here's my wish for you, hope my wish comes true. Happy New Year, have a happy New Year. Happy New Year!
And may it be shiny too!
CFEP is 105.9, Seaside FM.
And welcome back to the second of 2 hours right here on Evening Solitude. My name is Charles Hsuen. We've just concluded 60 minutes of a really eclectic selection of music, and we finished off with Rudolph's Shiny New Year, Red Skelton, and Maury Laws and the band with Have a Happy New Year sent up for Don Gauthier. We're going to start this hour off with another request from Corinne Mosna, who is listening to us in, I believe, Guelph, Ontario. And this artist just came through our hallowed halls in Halifax last month. Pat Metheny at the Rebecca Cohen Auditorium. I heard it was a fantastic concert. I did not make it there. But he wanted to hear the 1989 album Letter from Home, and the track is Slip Away. And if I know Pat Metheny, he is an absolute marvelous and wonderful and gifted guitarist. For Karim Mosna, here is Slip Away on Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen.
bring to you the Great American Songbook from the 20th century and beyond. You're listening to Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen on Seaside FM.
I'm keeping out of mischief now. Really am in love, and how? I'm through playing with fire. It's you whom I desire. All the world can plainly see you're the only one for me. I have told them in advance they can't break up our romance. Living up to every vow, keeping out of mischief now. Keeping out of mischief now. Really am in love, and how? I'm through playing with fire, 'cause it's you whom I desire. All the world can plainly see you're the only one for me. I have told them in advance they can't break up our romance. Living up to every vow, oh babe, keeping out of mischief now. I'm tacit, keeping out of mischief now.
Bing Crosby on the CBS radio network from 1952 to 1954. These recordings were long lost, and the master tapes were in the hands of his wife, and she released them. They took the segments out of the radio programs, and Catherine Crosby, that is, and who just passed away actually just a few months ago, and they edited out the program and just kept the songs and released a 7-volume set on the Mosaic label. And that is Bing Crosby, who is very, very free and very loose. He seems very staged and oftentimes very rehearsed on a lot of his popular recordings. And it really homogenized a lot of his output as being one of the most electronically recorded human beings in the history of the world in the Guinness Book of World Records. Before that, Pat Metheny and his band, and that is sent out for Karim Mosna, listening to us in Guelph, and that was Slip Away from the album Letters from Home in 1989. We're going to continue on with songs with Lee Wiley singing the songs of George and Ira Gershwin and Cole Porter. Here is Looking at You.
Looking at you while troubles are fleeing, I'm admiring the view, 'cause it's you I'm seeing, the sweet honeydew of well-being settled upon.
I'm a stickler for quality, and that was not the version that I wanted to play. This is the version I wanted to play.
Looking at you while troubles are fleeing, I'm admiring the view, 'cause it's you I'm seeing, the sweet honeydew of well-being settled upon me. What is this light that shines when you enter like a star in the night? And what's to prevent her from destroying filled with the essence of the quintessence of joy. Looking at you, I hear poets telling of lovely Helen of Troy. Life seems so great, I wanted to end it till that wonderful day you started to mend it. And if you lonely stay, then I'll spend it looking at you. Looking at you, I'm filled with the essence of the quintessence of joy. Looking at you, I hear poets telling of lovely Helen of Troy. Darling, life seems so gay, I wanted to end it till that wonderful day you started to mend it. If you lonely stay, then I'll spend it looking at you. Then I'll spend it looking at
From 1939, that was Looking at You. That was the second time, but I'm going to make a third attempt on it some other week, because that again was not the version. There's so many versions that were out there and so forth, and I had trouble locating it. But this one that I particularly wanted was recorded in 1957. But Lee Wiley and Looking at You. We're now going to be hearing two tracks from band leader Harold Betts. He may not know, his name is not known, but he actually recorded a lot of the great television soundtracks and movie soundtracks of the 1950s and 60s. This one coming from a 1967 Jerry Lewis movie called The Big Mouth, when Jerry moved from Paramount to Columbia. And I love the loud, brassy arrangements of this particular piece of music. It's only a couple of minutes long. And then we're going to be hearing The Enchanted Melody. That is from a 1958 recording of the theme song of the Shirley Temple Show. Shirley Temple had a variety show in 1957 and 58, I believe, on NBC. Two tracks by the great band leader Harold Betts, right here on Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen.
broadcasting live and direct to you from the heart of Eastern Passage. This is Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen on Seaside FM. The Enchanted Melody, coming from the soul of Dr. Kildare, the jazz soul, Enchanted Melody, and that one from 1960. That's one from a Mobile Fidelity, an audio file
company that has put out some really high quality records. And then we heard the main title theme of The Big Mouth from 1967, both by Harry Betts, who's a trombonist that came out of the Stan Kenton alumni. And you can hear the arranging of that brash, heavy brass sounds of Stan Kenton in Harry Betts's orchestrations. And there is a double play right there. We're going to be hearing sounds now by Mel Torme, and the Mel Torme sings the songs of New York. Here is Lullaby of Birdland.
Lullaby of Birdland, that's what I always hear when you sigh. Never in my wordland could there be ways to reveal in a phrase how I feel. Have you ever seen two turtle doves, bill and coo, when they love? That's the kind of magic music we'll make with our lips when we kiss. And there's a weepy old willow, he really knows how to cry. That's how I'd cry on my pillow if you should tell me farewell and goodbye. Lullaby of Birdland, whisper low, kiss me sweet, then we'll go flying high in Birdland, high in the sky up above. We're in love when I hear that lullaby of Birdland, crazy swinging lullaby of Birdland. All it seems to do is just remind me that I'm oh so in love, I don't know what to do. When I hear that lullaby of Birdland, crazy swinging lullaby of Birdland. All it seems to do is just remind me of the nights that I spent loving you. Lullaby of Birdland, whisper low, kiss me sweet, then we'll go flying high in Birdland, high in the sky up above. And now I've discovered just why I'm so much in love, baby, with you. Lullaby of Birdland.
Hear the crooners, the big bands, the small groups, and more. You're listening to Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen right here on 105.9 Seaside FM, the home of good music. The incomparable Cedar Walton and his trio, recorded in Bologna, in Italy, in 1985. That one from the Trio 2. That was Fred Kootz's and Sam L. Lewis's composition, For All We Know. Cedar Walton on piano, David Williams on bass, Billy Higgins on drums, the hard bop piano coming out of Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers. Another great request from my great friend Jean Robert in Montreal. We are now going to be hearing sounds by Anita O'Day. Here's Crazy, He Calls Me, right here on Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen.
I say I'll move the mountains, and I'll move the mountains if he wants them out of the way. Crazy he calls me, sure I'm crazy, crazy in love, I'd say. I say I'll go through fire, and I'll go through fire, as he wants it, so will it be. Crazy he calls me, sure I'm crazy, crazy in love, you see. Like the wind that shakes the bough, he moves me with a smile. The difficult I'll do right now, the impossible will take a little while. I say I'll care forever, and I mean forever, if I have to hold up the sky. Crazy he calls me, sure I'm crazy, crazy in love am I. The difficult I'll do right now, the impossible will take a little while. I say I'll care forever, and I mean forever, if I have to hold up the sky. Crazy he calls me, sure I'm crazy, crazy in love am I.
Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Bing Crosby, and the great artists of the 20th century. Broadcasting to you live from the heart of Eastern Passage, this is Evening Solitude with Charles Hsuen.
One less egg to fry, one less man to pick up after, I should be happy, but all I do is cry, cry. No more laughter. Oh, I should be happy. Oh, why did he go? I only know that since he left, my life's so empty. Though I try to forget it, just can't be done. Each time the doorbell rings, I still run. I don't know how in the world to stop thinking of him. I should be happy 'cause I still love him so. I end each day the way I started, and each day my one less bell to answer, one less egg to fry, one less man to pick up after. No more laughter, no more since he went away, the chair is still a chair, even when there's no one sitting there. But a chair is not a house, and a house is not a home when there's no one there to hold you tight, and no one there you can kiss goodnight. A room is still a room, even when there's nothing there but gloom. But a room is not a house, and a house is not a home when the two of us are far apart, and one of us has a broken heart. Now and then I call your name, and suddenly your face appears. But it's just a crazy game, and when it ends in tears. So, darling, have a heart. Don't let one mistake keep us apart. Oh, I'm not meant to live alone. Turn this house into a home. When I climb the stair and turn the key, oh, please be there. Still in love with me. One less bell to answer. Each time the doorbell rings, I still run less egg to free. I got one less man to pick up after. No more laughter, no more love.
the unmistakable Barbra Streisand. From the album Barbara Jones Streisand, this one came out on the Columbia label in 1971. This was her second attempt at making commercial and current music. Because up to that point, Barbara, in the 1960s, entered the music scene and the charts with singing standards that were 20, 30, 40 years old at the time. And Columbia Records were pressuring her to do stuff by Carole King, John Lennon, and this one, which was done by Burt Bacharach and Hal David. I think it's a marvelous medley that she starts singing with herself, as you can add, which was very rare at the time in the early 1970s because multi-track recording was still quite new. And the other thing was that it was doing a lot that has become contemporary standards now. And it was arranged by Peter Matz, who was the orchestra leader for the Carol Burnett Show on CBS. But he did some phenomenal arrangements. And all of these studio musicians and arrangers, had to punch out they were orchestra leaders, and they had to punch out new material every week for a variety program. So they knew how to work with Barbara's voice. One Less Bell to Answer and A House Is Not a Home. That is Hal David and Burt Bacharach's composition. Anita O'Day to start that off with Crazy He Calls Me from 1961 from the album Traveling Light on the Verve label. And that concludes that set, and I think we're going to give you one more weather update right now.
What's tomorrow's weather? What's the low? What's the high? Will it be way all right?
Your Metro Weather Call forecast for Halifax and the surrounding area for this Thursday, January 9th. Tonight, a few flurries becoming mixed with rain showers early this evening, then ending overnight, then cloudy, a 30% chance of flurries or rain showers, a low of 1. On Friday, cloudy, a 30% chance of flurries or rain showers in the morning and early in the afternoon. Winds gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour with a high of 2. UV and X reading at 1, which is in the low category. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low of -1. Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud, a high of 0 and a low of -2. Sunday, cloudy with a 30% chance of flurries, high of 1 and a low of -4. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you're looking at highs of -1, -2, and -2, and lows of -6, -5, and -4, respectively. For more weather information, log on to seasidefm.com. Current temperature outside the studios of Eastern Passage Fisherman's Cove in Shearwater. It is 1 degree Celsius. The barometric pressure reading at 98.4 kilopascals and rising. The humidity's at 91%. That's your Metro Weather Call forecast. And now, a little business with you.
Seaside FM weather brought to you by Parkland Retirement Living. See for yourself why a Parkland Retirement Living community will help you live your best life. Looking for an all-inclusive, independent, or supportive lifestyle option? Join us for an open house tour this winter and get your questions answered. Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Book your tour at experienceparkland.com. Tonight's programming on Seaside FM is brought to you in part by Liscombe Lodge. We've got some great news for you. New, bigger, and better experiences to enhance your luxurious and restful stay with us along Nova Scotia's beautiful eastern shore. Stay tuned for details coming your way throughout 2025.
Got a leaky basement or a big dig on your to-do list? Call Don from Rockbusters. We stop basement leaks fast, keeping your home dry, safe, and worry-free. And when it comes to excavation, we've got the tools, the team, and the know-how to handle any project. Call Rockbusters today at 902-499-8857. That's 902-499-8857 for a free estimate. Rockbusters. Call Don and your water will be gone. And your excavation work will be done.
It might be confusing to some, a bit overwhelming perhaps, as to where to invest these days. You should invest, for what's the point of being 5 years older and not becoming at least 5 years richer? Markets may go down, then recover, But wasted time, you just don't get it back. Tune in every Thursday morning at 9:10 to the Financial Destination Show. It will be time well invested. Call 902-499-5879. This is Roger Hamilton. Until next time, stay safe and stay invested.
The home of remarkable singers and great songs. 105.9 Seaside FM.
Tone things down a little bit now with a wonderful piece of music that was composed by the famed Japanese composer Ryuichi Sakamoto. We lost him a couple of years ago, and he was responsible for doing some great music for soundtracks, including this one from 1983. He was also an actor and acted in this along with star David Bowie and Tom Conti. I'm talking of the 1983 motion picture called Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Here is Jess Gilliam and her band doing her rendition on saxophone of this hypnotic, if not beautiful, ballad. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Jess Gillum and her band. And that was from her 2017 album. She was an alto saxophone on that great piece of music by Ryuichi Sakamoto. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up. Our theme is fading up, which means it's time for me to head back to Halifax. I'll be back again next week, same time, same station, for another edition of Evening Solitude next Thursday evening. I want to wish you all a very happy New Year. Until I speak with you again, I'm Charles Hsuen. Thank you for letting me broadcast for you. Good night, everyone.